Hey everybody, it's me, Trina. Welcome back to Life Without Mom. We're approaching, can't believe I'm saying this, but we're approaching the 3-month mark as of April 4th. Unbelievable. This morning I woke up and my brain goes through this cycle of this where I kind of go into a shock and realization that Mom's not here, and her absence hits me like a mag truck each time my brain does this. It's almost as if my mind, because it's rewiring itself, tends to forget that she's gone. And when I remember, even though I'm completely aware that she's passed, when I somehow remember again, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And I cry a little. But the crying is slowing, and even though it's only been 3 months, I'm kind of shocked that the tears aren't as frequent as it has been the last 60 odd days. But I kind of wanted to touch base with you guys because I've been reading the book It's Okay That You're Not Okay by Megan Devine. Thank you, Patty, for sending that to me, by the way, if you ever watch this. And there's a chapter about pain versus suffering, and I thought I'd share that with you guys. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So, pain and grief obviously are going to be a part of your life when you lose someone. And for me, pain and grief is all I feel majority of the time. Although with acceptance of Mom's passing, the acceptance is slowly numbing that pain. A passage that we will all experience at one point with family, friends, even a pet. And just because it hurts doesn't mean that grief is wrong. So just keep that in mind. If you grieve, make sure that you grieve your own way. That's the one thing I've learned. Don't listen to everybody else. Because when you start listening to everyone else, the book has taught me that that's suffering. So pain is the response to the grief. It's the hurt you feel in your gut and everything. When you cry, that's the pain that comes with grief. But suffering is when everybody else comes at you every which way, telling you how you should do things. You should get over it. You should be better by now. That's suffering. And the other thing that was causing suffering for me was reliving the events that led up to Mom's death and trying to rehash it and somehow wanting and wishing that things were different. The problem with that is when you suffer, when you go there and you suffer, it actually doesn't help you grieve and process everything. And so I was fortunate enough to have my husband here with me when I had my big events of grief, when I was just suffering in the grief because I was reliving those last 9 days of her life. The reason why I say 9 days for me personally is because those were the number of days that took place between the day after Christmas of 2020 when we called the ambulance to pick up Mom to the day she passed away. I wasn't with her at that time. So I was reliving the day we called the ambulance and then trying to literally somehow fix the past, which is completely impossible. But when you lose somebody, things like that tend to happen. It's a natural response, but you have to learn how to not suffer. You have to learn how to recognize the suffering that you're creating for yourself. And I was mentally creating a torture room, basically, in my mind, trying to fix something that cannot be repaired, trying to feel bad for the way things went. And I was doing that to myself. So my husband was with me, and one day when I was grieving really hard about it and saying, man, I should have hugged Mom the day before she left in the ambulance, I didn't hug her. I didn't hug her at all. There's video footage because we have a security camera in our living room since she was living downstairs. And there's video footage of me just standing at our kitchen table, a couple feet away from Mom as the paramedics are taking her out. I didn't go up to her and kiss her. I didn't reach out to her while she was leaving, but she wasn't really conscious either. And I just wanted them to get her to the hospital because she wasn't doing too well. But for some reason, the not hugging her that day really tortured me. It made me suffer. And I was in complete pain and in this unending circle of torturing myself. And my husband explained that day from his perspective, and it made so much more sense. And I realized that I was just punishing myself for things that I cannot change. Once that realization kicked in, the suffering has actually dissipated, but the pain is because there's love for her that cannot go anywhere anymore. Physically, I don't have her here to give that love that I still have within me, and so of course it comes out as tears and sadness. But I'm glad that I stopped suffering. I am eating better. I am sleeping a little better now, thankfully. And because I'm not in that unending circle of wondering what if and shoulda, coulda, woulda, and trying to change the past, which is impossible to do, but I was somehow trying to fix it. Now that that's said and done and I've come to terms with that, I'm okay now. I don't think about the last few days that mom was here with me anymore in that sense. I don't look at it as a mistake, which I was. I found so many flaws in that day, asking the doctor, what if we told the doctor, yeah, intubate her? Would she be here? Would she be suffering? But see, those thoughts are irrelevant at this point, and all it'll do is hurt me more and make me suffer. And so I'm learning to cast those assumption kind of thoughts, the what if thoughts aside, and focus more on myself and healing and accepting mom's passing. But she's not suffering anymore, and I have to accept that and come to terms with that every day. It's really difficult to lose a parent, and it hurts like hell. And a lot of my friends have been through the same thing, so I have a great support system. Luckily, my support system has allowed me to grieve the way I want to, as well as my workplace, which I'm so thankful for. They've been completely understanding. I find that in grief, I'm not as aware of what I'm typing. Sometimes I've noticed that I mistype things once in a while, so I'm double checking myself all the time for work. But there's like a brain fog that comes with grief and loss, and it's something that I'm working on, surviving, and luckily I'm no longer suffering from the loss. I am still grieving, and it's going to take time. I don't know how much, because there's no time limit to grief, but however long it takes. At first I felt really guilty about it, and I cry when I catch myself laughing, because why do I have the right to be happy when she's gone? That mindset has passed. I'm more appreciative of those moments where I can just be okay, instead of beating myself up for being okay, because again, that's just suffering and torturing myself, and I don't need to do that. So it is a process, but I'm getting through it, and I just wanted to share those thoughts with you today. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of this 10-minute video, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. And if you have your mother around, please hug her for me, because I really wish I could hug my mom. And if she's not nearby but still around, shoot her a text or send pick up the phone and make a call. You'll never know when those moments are going to mean so much to you, because trust me, now I know they will.